You might have seen Bloxorz, a game where you have to move a block everywhere on minigame sites. People genuinely like that game. But how can a block be so addicting? To find out, let's play this game a little bit to see how they make their players addicted. So here we see that it starts with talking about the goal of the game, which is to move a block into this square right here. Starting with the goal creates an expectation or an objective in the player. We immediately know how to win before even knowing how to play. Mentioning how many levels there are accentuates that effect because it makes us think about mastering the game before even knowing the rules. And then it explained how the game was working. So to recap, you have to move this block around and be careful not to get it to fall off. It mentions some fancy stuff like switches, orange squares, and multiple blocks. But if you're familiar with video games, you can be used to these additional features that appear as you go through the game. Now, why did they mention it at the beginning if these things weren't even at the start? To create interest. It is similar to open loops when they are created in a story. Another interesting thing is that it says how to play right here, so why did it bother explaining the rules at the start? The first level was pretty easy, like in all video games. And like other games, it will become increasingly more and more difficult. The reason why this is like that is because it would be too difficult to learn how a game works and how to beat a hard level at the same time. So the purpose of the first level of a game is to make people understand the laws of that game. Another reason why it will become more and more difficult is that as players, we usually get bored when something is the same. According to these sources, if a game is addicting, the difficulty grows because it causes to surpass ourselves. So if the difficulty becomes higher, it improves the engagement of the players. Now stage 2, as we've predicted it, the game introduces the two switches mentioned earlier. There is now a new challenge that we want to complete, and so it makes us addicted. Stage 3 doesn't introduce new stuff, but it is harder, which shows how the difficulty is increasing as we go through the game to make us more addicted. Stage 4 now introduces new obstacles again. So they seem to be alternating between new objects and hard levels in the game because this level was easier than level 3. Now stage 5 was difficult again, so it seems to be their pattern. A stage introducing new stuff and then a harder stage. As it became more advanced, we could see the patterns. When it is not the side you want, you have to do specific moves in that situation to overcome it. It makes us work, and then when we accomplish what we wanted to do, it creates dopamine, so we become even more addicted. It becomes even more intriguing when something doesn't work, and that's what absorbs us in the game. In conclusion, the open loops present in Bloxorz make the game addictive. This made a block that we wouldn't normally care about awesome. Thanks for watching.